everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last episode, making an EVA foam Predator Gauntlet Part 3, we sealed and painted our gauntlet, but it haunted us because it wasn't the real colors. So we are going to repaint it. That's right. So in this episode, Predator Gauntlet Repaint, we're going to cover over what we did with this distressed, grungy metal, which is more like it really looked in the movies. And this is a great opportunity to show you how easy it is if you gamble and you paint something and you don't like how it turned out. It's super easy just to paint over it. So don't fear, go for it, and if you don't like it, you can easily go back and repaint. So if you're ready to hit it, let's make something. All right, so this is going to be super easy. We're going to come in with our sponge brush and our silver, and we are going to change this to being the way that it's really supposed to look, which is going to be dirty, aged up metal. So what we're going to do is we're going to simply get our sponge brush started, just like that. All right, just like that. And as you've seen before, when we use a sponge brush, the corners stay dark. The paint doesn't get in the corners. That way it has a natural, kind of like weathered look. Pretty easy. We're just gonna cover the whole thing. Take our time, cover the whole thing, and we're gonna be left with a lot of naturally kind of like dark corners, but we're gonna get it all looking metal. Then we're gonna age it up. Super easy. All right, look at that. Looking good. All right, there we go. We're really starting to get covered now. That is looking good. Looking like dirty metal. Just keep going. All right, slowly getting the whole thing covered. All right. There it is, all metal. Now we've got some tiny little areas where we couldn't get in with the sponge brush, so we're gonna come in here with our normal brush and get in there. Just a couple little spots, right underneath some of these things. Okay, now as you can tell, we're not being super neat here because we don't want to cover all of it with silver. We want some tiny little areas where there's black left. That easy. We just went around the whole thing with our sponge brush, and then we went in with a regular brush. And we got in some of the really tiny little crevices that we couldn't get in with the sponge brush. Beautiful. Sweet, that easy. Another great example how after you've completely painted a prop, you can decide what the heck. Let's throw caution to the wind and repaint it. There you go, nice, all right. All right, now we're gonna come in with our medium gray. Really easy. We're gonna get our Sponge brush. Lightly hit some gray areas. Just like that. So what it's going to do is it's going to break up that silver, and when it dries a little bit darker than the silver. So what we're going to do is we're going to just come around. Get some of those little darker spots that we just talked about, just like that. Now again, it's hard to see it right now on the silver, but it will dry and it'll be a little bit darker. This is going to have a nice look when it starts to dry. You're starting to see the difference where we put in some of the little medium gray hits all over the place. See that? Definitely starting to get a little bit of tone change in the metal. So what we're doing is we're building up layers. We have the all silver layer, then we came in with our medium gray, and we're going to dapple some spots around just to break it up a little bit so it's not all the same silver. So we've got the silver, we've got the medium gray, and we've got black in a lot of the crevices. So we've got a nice look going so far, pretty cool. All right, now the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put a mud wash on it. Love the mud wash. All right, there's our brown. There's our black. Get some water in there. Get the whole thing mixed up. Now what we're going to do is this. We're going to come in with our wash and we're going to put it all over our piece like this. And then we're going to come in with our paper towel. All right, look at that. That is cruddy. Very nice. That's a nice level of crud on there. Now we're going to come in with our brush a little bit more. We're going to go right down here. Just like that. We're going to come in again with our paper towel. There we go, let's move this out of the way. We're going to come in with our paper towel. Wow, that is some grimy stuff right there. That has got crud and grime all over it in all the crevices, and you saw how there's really no method or no organized way to do this. You just start brushing it all on and you dab it off. You leave it heavy in some of the corners. You wipe it off some of the other spots. You even let it start to pool up in some areas and let it dry, so it's got a little bit of a darker stain than some other spots. And then you get a fan on it or a blow dryer and you dry it up so it dries in all the spots you left it. All right, there we go. Check that out. That is dirty and grimy. If you've got junk and crud and all the crevices, everywhere we've got dinge and grime. Very cool. All right, and you saw how easy that was to cover up a paint job that you decide you don't want. Not a problem at all. You saw that we just recovered it with our sponge brush with silver. Then we went in with our medium gray and we just dappled around the silver just to break up the silver, so there was two tones of kind of silver and gray in there. And then we came in with our mud bath, which is our brown and black acrylic and water, and then we just brush it on in spots, let it sit for a minute or two, and then just start dabbing it and leaving wetness and dark patches and spots, and it comes up with a nice overall grimy feel. Very cool. So with that, our Predator Gauntlet repaint comes to a close. Bam! That easy. If you mess up, it's easy to repaint. And that's it. That concludes Predator Gauntlet repaint. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And together we're going to go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.